side control over here. Side control, it doesn't actually matter which side. Okay, so we're going to work from some negative stand competition style. So we're trying to get out of the side control. My partner's got a fairly good side control. They've passed my guard. I've done like a triangle, whatever. They've got to the bad position. So I'm trying to do my move, but they're really stuck to me and I can't rescue. I'm having trouble bridging. I need to do two motions. My right hand, or the hand that's closest to the head, swings low and I'll grab hold of the inside of my thigh. What I'm doing technically is my elbows onto the elbows so they can't get their frame out. Yeah, which he doesn't kind of mind. So two motions. My legs come in. I'm going to kick my knees nice and long and I'm going to bring my hand to the other side of my head. So I bring my knees in, I kick nice and long, I bring my hand to the other side of my head. How'd that feel? Yeah, so I've kind of locked you into this position to move you. The more that you drive into me to do the crossface, the better it is for me to be able to move you. Flynn? Doesn't matter what side. So the key is, right, and I'll explain it to you, is once I start to push, they normally lock this into position. So now the only way that they can post is with this. So when I go here, I've locked it in. So they're going to apply pressure for the crossface. What I do is, as I'm doing this, is I go with the crossface. And it's this really easy rollover and puts me into this really dominant position to attack. Okay, so one more time. So the key factors on this is I need the crossface, which is generally in the competition, they're going to be applying more pressure here, from here. So what I do is I'm trying to push him, and as I push, he'll normally reboot to come in. So I'll grab, but I can't grab high because his elbows, so I'll grab low. So if he tries to pull his arm out, it's pretty locked into position. The part that I see people have issues with is they try and take the hand to the hand. What I'm doing is, as I turn this way, I kick and I'm taking my hand, so I'm kind of like swimming that way. Come up. We're stepping straight over the head, immediately. Okay, fist, how's that feel?
Fine.
How's that feel?
Not fine.
Okay, so what I see people do is they go that way. So they go and they put the flat part, which means that it doesn't hurt. But as soon as I roll that in, so I'm that way here. Yep. Go, 1, 2, 3, let's go. So this is the key, because this is the locking mechanism, right? So as I push away, they drive in and I'm grabbing. So you guys are still grabbing a little bit high. So when you go to roll, see where my elbow, right? So that's the biggest issue that I see with, So I really need this. So what I'm doing is, as I bring my knees in, I bring my hand under. So that, she's got no post anymore. The downfall is I'm trying to take over my stomach and you get to this position about here and it becomes a scramble. It's quite hard for actually both of us to move. So if I go from here, pinch it in, and instead if I punch it high, that's going to give me a better drive around. So I come to the top position. I've also got like the jaws of life. So when I'm here, I can keep them pinned down and attack their head, which means that I can swing under from here. So you've got to keep the leg grab elbow pinched in, and the other one, instead of trying to take the most, we're trying to punch him really high over us. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Go again. Jake,
That's so much better.
there's so many little parts that can go wrong with
I
riding.
keep going to bridge, which I know are not
If I can get him up on here, can I get you guys on this side, right? So, action, reaction. So I attack the hip, pop, 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 and that allows me to get a good bite and allows her to cross face even more. What I'm seeing is everyone's going here, but when they're rolling, they're bringing that hand back out again, which means that I'm having trouble rolling because my own elbow. Secondly, she's got a really good pinch on me now. So what I'm trying to do is I try and keep that hand low, and that's going to make a huge difference. Because I'm here, that hand here will allow me to roll over, but this is still pinched. So when I switch, I can come through. Stage 2, right? and this is the combination. So you guys are kind of doing the combination together, but you're doing both of them, but not each one. So this is called the Jaws of Life. And when I started to teach this, this was better no gi, but I have huge success with this in the gi, like huge success. So what's going is I drive into my partner, I raise my hip, I get my bite, I rock and roll, I kick, and I get to here, and she's like, no, I'm having trouble. So what I do is I bring my hand over, I'll push the head. So that's going to start to attack it. This is called ground judo, right? So I've got the X going to give it to you. I shove a head down to my knee, and I come up. And I get this really nice roll over. And it's kind of like I'm doing a throw on my partner. So I've got to raise him up. Neo, okay, jump up. Flint. I've done the first one, so I turn towards my partner, grab, and I'm here, and I'm like, he's like, no way. So my bottom hand still stays as my bottom hand. My bottom hand still stays as my bottom hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go Jaws of Life, so I push. I cup the head from here. Now, this, you're right there, Flynn? Yeah. Can you feel that on your shoulder?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so come up, and when I land, it's a super heavy, like I'm going to crush you when I land. How did that feel? Yeah, easy to do. Time. Drive in, rock and roll, boom, here, push the head down. This hardest part is this. Kick, come up. Ground shooter. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You guys have got it, right? But, because if they're going to fight me, it's going to be hard. So the way I started to do this was off the shoulder crunch from side control. Push, and that. Can you feel what I'm doing? Yeah. So you're kind of just here. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shove your head down, and this is because your arm's caught, and your arm's caught, you can't post anymore. So I drive up off my feet and raise my hips. So I'm kind of pinning your shoulder. So when I land, it's really heavy. So you're letting go of the head a little bit too early, and you're not shoving, because I want it to be, you can't roll the other way because you're going to break your neck. You can only roll one way because there's so much pressure on the neck that you have to go. And then once the hip comes over on the top position, there's so much pressure on your ribs that you've got to roll as well, otherwise it's going to break your ribs. So one more time. So we can go off the Jaws of Life on this one. Oh, sorry, Flynn was punching you in the face. Sorry, buddy. So off the Jaws of Life, so this way. So Jaws of Life, boom, and on top, and see that? So I'm trying to shove your head to my belt, and this one here. This is how, so I can't roll at the moment. So I go backwards, I go hip escape backwards. Now that's the area. So see how my knees pinned you as well? How does that feel? So now, drop my hip into you. That, you feel that? That's what I'm after. So we do this off the Jaws of Life. This time, instead of the side control escape, just the Jaws of Life. But make sure you shove the head down to your belt, to your belly button. 1, 2, 3, let's go. If it's because you guys are struggling to get up, or whether you're struggling to get to your knees, but you're disengaging the lock, and you're going to give them an opportunity to start to escape. So this should be pretty effortless. Once I set this up, this should be an effortless rollover, or it goes back. I've got 2 attacks. So so let's just have a look. We're going to go off the Jaws of Life on this one. Okay. So the Jaws of Life. So it's like a hammer. So I'm going to go. I hammer my hand into his head. Pop, and I cup. But what I'm doing is here. So what I'm seeing you guys are doing, you're bringing your hand here to try and come up, but I've got to keep this hand in. So this arm here is caught underneath. This arm here is like a cutting arm bar. Now, it's really hard for me to get up to my knees because his weight's on me. So the hardest part of this is I hold his head, but I hip escape backwards. And that lifts him up. And that's the pressure. So it's that, you feel that little hip escape that just shoves you into the valley. So I create space by moving backwards to be able to shove his head down. You guys are trying to drive forward, which is why you're having issues trying to get up and over. How did that feel? Okay, and again. It's not hurting you at all? No. Okay. So, the hammer and the nail jaws of life, okay, so it's like, if I need to, it's like bop, 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 and it's almost like I'm doing that leg thing, but I'm not doing that leg thing. So what I do is, as I turn, I jam, so this is to get his post arm taken out of the equation, so it's down nice and low. This hand here keeps his arm in. Like I said, if I try and roll this way, his weight's in the way, so this is exceedingly hard for me to roll that way. So what I do is I go, my feet come in, I hip escape. Now, as I'm hip escaping away, I'm shoving his head into the belly. So I've got both arms caught up. Right, now, I kick my leg, kick, pop, over. Step over the head, and we should be straight into submission as he rescues the cutting arm bar, Kimura. So the whole system puts everything into a really good position for me to attack. And it's not, you're not going to blow your postures out, you're not going to, there's no breaching involved in it. So this is like one you can use on heavy weights. It's not going to affect your ribs and your back and all that. Go again, guys, 1, 2, 3. Of life is generally like, if I go jaws of life, it's generally to get them to drive back into me or to create space. Like they're either going to go, I'll fight your jaws of life, I'll come back in, or I'll lift my head up to get rid of the jaws of life. So they're the two majors. We're going to deal with each of those ones as well. We're going to take a little side step over to the left now. And this is something I've been working on for a while. It's high percentage, it's dirty, it works really well, catches everyone by surprise. It's a very Adam move, okay? Tyrone, come down here, buddy. Okay, so side control, Michael on that side. Okay, so I'm here and I'm having a lot of issues. So I'm gonna put my left thumb inside the collar here. Doesn't feel bad at all, does it? You're like, what's he gonna do from there? Okay, so I'm going to drive into my partner, swing my hand, up. How's that feel? So he's going to do exactly what I'm doing. I bring my knee through and I hit the Kimura. You don't see it, there's a lot of pressure on this. Hey buddy. Thumb, grip, drive this way. Hand comes under the blade. So I've got to get my hand caught here. So it's a blade. I don't want it that way. I don't want it that way. I want it here. So when I'm here. Now, this is the easy part. I'm going to go slow because I don't want you to cry. Is I'll pull my elbows to my belly button straight away. How's that feel? Thank you. Turns. Kimura. Best thing about is it's really hard for you to do anything about it because I've got the block. So I've got the options to come through and make this Kimura super tight. Flint, have I done this to you? Yeah, I have done this to you. I remember. The look on your face was one of disgust. It's like, how dare you? One, bop, here. 1, 2, 3. Because there's nothing at the moment to stop them from walking to north-south. I'm going to roll them over if they do.
Doing a knee ride?
Oh, the knee ride's worse. If you upgrade to knee ride, you're going to jack your arm up. I'll explain that as we go through. Actually, no, I'll use it. I'll save your shoulder and you'll find it tomorrow. I don't want to blow your shoulder. Okay, so here, so if the higher I get onto the neck, the better. The lower, the worse. The higher. The part that I see people have issues with is they try to turn this way first. If I get turned this way, I can't commit my arms because his weight's onto it. So what I want to do is I want to do the standard where I kind of go hip escape and I put my knee through straight away. Come under. So this is pretty much on straight away, right? So if he, well, number one, he can't upgrade to knee ride because my knee's through. If he decides to start to walk to north-south, I go cylinder. And it just gives me that ability to start to escape. So I'm getting out of the side control position. I don't necessarily get the attack, but I get the ability to roll out of it. Number two, this is, right. So from here, turn, lock it in. You think about it this way, right, is if they're gonna go to north-south and I'm gonna roll the opposite way. So that. I'm still gonna get the attacks of the rollovers. I'm still going to get it. Matty, the motion out of it. So I grab high, right? When I move towards my partner, I'm trying to push my partner closer to my hips, not over my head. So I'm trying to get my partner, so here, once I'm here, right, to stop him from moving is, I'm gonna bring my elbow, my top elbow towards my belly button and I shove my head away. I bring my top elbow towards my belly button, I shove my head away. What I'm seeing people, they're doing this, the more that I come in and compress, yes. So the more that I kind of go jam, elbow comes in and my head goes away, the faster this comes on. So now this here is what stops him from going to north-south. So instead of me trying to go here and there's no lock, yes, exactly right. So I could go lock, squeeze, head goes away, head goes away, head goes away, head goes away. Right. He pulls his arm out somehow. On. And just finish with the cross collar. And finish from the cross collar off the side, offside. So the key factors is, once I've kind of locked the thumb in and once I've got this position here, is I'm gonna go bring this in, but I move my head away to get that drive off my hips to lock them into position. You find that this will come on super fast, so be really careful with each other. 1, 2, 3. If you're against the wrong opponent and you've got shorter arms, right, there's obviously issues. So this is plan B, right? And it's actually going to go against everything I just said. So I'm trying to push, there's no space, so I shove my hip out, I come under. Now the part that I see people have issues with, they try and bring this hand here to this, but it's shut. So what I do is I put the hand down instead. So I'm gonna go push, but see how that arm's locked in? Come under. Now, roll the opposite way. So if I'm knee, if he goes, uses his left hand to shove my knee out the way, pop, just come around, no, do it on the opposite side. So I can go both ways. The thing for me is, if I have short arms and I'm struggling to get the grip, so I kind of go here, and I'm heading to here, but I can't lock my arms together, right? And it is like the issue is, I normally drag the arm, just drag the arm. It's exactly the same thing, right? So if I get to here and I'm struggling, just cup the elbow, knee, up, drag, and lift. Pop, now, got all your chokes and things like that as well. 1, 2, 3. Just going to go through the standards of the leg lock defences, just off the straight ankle lock, and this is, we're just going to cover 1, possibly 2 scenarios. These are ready so far. Inside my guard, and we'll set it up off this, which is the easiest way. So I go basic sweep, head goes my ankles, sits down, and we're in that position. So for me, right, I turn my body this way, but he wants to drop that side. So as he's blocked my hip out and sits, I've got to do 2 things. Number 1 is I've got to make sure that I can pop up. Right. So as he's coming backwards, I'll pop up and I'm going to grab at the top of the knee from here. This is really important. So I've got to clear my knee line. So as he starts to squeeze and sit down, I'm popping, I'm trying to come up. Hey buddy, turn the corner and I'll look for the top, there's an arm bar and there's a attack there. So if we're here, we'll set this up so it's pretty basic. So if I go boom, 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 hit and here, the first thing I have to do is my legs on the wrong side, so I'm clean and that. Right, so I've got to make sure he doesn't get the knee squeeze and get the knee line, because I can move my foot around a little bit now. Even if he squeezes, I've got a fair bit of play from here. So it's here, push, and come up and slide. So once I'm here, it's almost impossible for him to start to get the ankle lock. Yeah, and there's arm bars now, and I've got wrist locks and things. Oh, dirty. So the part that I see people have issues with is, once they're here, is they start to grab this. But unless I clear this here, like this is what we call defensive. You can't ankle lock me, but I can't, I'm in this position where I can't really do too much. And it's kind of like the one who's more stubborn. So he's got me in a submission, I'm in defensive, I'm playing against his game, right? So for me, it was this. Now, the thing about it is I create space, I throw, so I'm kind of going this way, but putting the leg that way, so I'm going around it. Yeah. If he continues to hold on to it, I just step up and I get this. So the beautiful thing about it is I get 2 points for the sweep. I get 3 points for the guard pass. I get 4 points for the mount. So we're doing points to so that's 9 points for him going for an ankle lock on me. 9 points, which is pretty good, you know what I mean? For SGT, I'm not getting submitted, so it's a good thing as well. Flip. So from here, like I'm doing my basic sweep, I've got my control, he relaxes on, sits down. So first thing is this. Yep. Second is, I can't pull it because I can't move, so I'm going to post. I move this way and shove the leg that way. Easy peasy. Come up. Hey, how you doing? And now, whatever I want to do. How sucks that? It's really horrible, hey? Okay. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. So I decide to take the cankle lock, so it goes my cankle from here. Okay, so first things first, top arms up. So got control, so he grabs my ankle, got it, so I understand he's going to go for the ankle lock, come on the inside, turn.
He's just dumping me.
Yep, because he's committed to my leg, I've got the other arm, he's got nowhere to go. So quickly, last time, so he's here, but hold, under, omoplata, foot, push it here, just kick face first, all. 1, 2, 3, go, real quick. Today I wanted to cover just from some negatives like the side control scope and turning into positive. So I've got a couple of really good mechanics as far as escaping the side control and attacking from the side control position. Number 2, I wanted to show you guys that even though you're underneath your partner, your opponent, there's no reason why you can't attack. Like, you know, there's no safe position in BJJ. Number 3, we just covered some straight ankle locks. Because you guys aren't doing your heel hooks and your knee bars and that, straight ankle locks are kind of the option that you're going to come across the most. So just a really easy defense like that. Cool, thanks guys. Thank you.